All right, getting into game number 1. Spawning here to the lower right side of the Olimoleague Grand Finals, we've got the Blue Zerg soO.
In the top left, as the red Terran, it is Bunny.
Ooh. $5 more coming in from Juice Willis TV. That's not even that funny. I don't know why I like it so much. Juice Willis TV, thank you. So shout out to Zombie Grub and Bargain Wardy. You son of a bitch.
Wow.
Charge that back. Get out of my life.
Wowzers.
And then online strategy
DK?
Online strategy, I don't know. 100 bits.
Online strategic.
Strategic. He says he's keeping the hype going. And then Hollywood Haxor with that Prime sub. Oh, if you're from Hollywood, you're using like 4 keyboards to hack me. But all right, this is happening. soO is not a player I've known to do super crazy stuff recently, but back in the day on Days of like Overgrowth, right? I swear to God, Cats like whispers into his ear all these sweet nothings about disgusting builds, and we've seen soO do stuff like this in his history. But the last few months, I don't know that I've seen him do anything like this, Zombie Grub.
No, he's not usually a weird player. But thank you to Bastomate and Stephen Ledger, LGR, for the extra bitty bits coming in. As we watch this unfold, you know, Bunny has no idea. You don't SCD scout versus a Zerg, and the Reaper is going to take forever to scout that something is even wrong.
And you know what's so weird? The way the creep spreads, too, might not even come in vision for the way he rallies down the ramp. Not until it's too late type thing. So, it's roaches, and it's not spine crawlers or anything super crazy like that, guys, but this is so frustrating. This is in the heart of his base. Bunny luckily didn't spend time walling off over here, so he does at least have a little fallback, but this is still going to be astonishing. He's not even going to see creep spread.
This is the worst case scenario, you know, like the thing is his command center might finish and he's going to have a factory, so like, you know, isn't that good? But the mental preparation, the chance that he starts an unideal unit on the factory first, such as Hellions, it's pretty high still. This Reaper's only just now seeing something is wrong, and he's not even going to bother actually checking behind. He kind of he knows something is up.
But so the difference between the typical Ravager all-in off on base and this one is distance. soO would normally have to walk so far and would take so long, but these roaches hopping up right now, they're already here.
Yeah. It's funny is that the creep spread does appear off to the right side, just something you just really aren't looking for. But he knows exactly what's up, and the bunkers are going to try and buy that time necessary. The Cyclone is helpful, but you still can't let the Ravagers into the base. So you got to be careful that they're not targeting down the supply depots too quickly.
The other part of this stuff, too, is the bunker. It's got range, and 2 of them have more range by covering more ground, but you've got less units to split between them. So 1 Marine in the south bunker is not that terrifying.
Yeah, I wish he would repair the supply depot. I don't know why he's not.
Because he doesn't want to have supply.
The assumption is that more corrosive bios go down on it, but I think that takes 3 more corrosive bios away from a command center. That potentially buys more time if he does try and blitz onto your main base. Oh well.
Expensive foreigner. Thank you very much. 100 more bits. Just how about some more bits? Hell yeah, dude. Siege Civ 11, even the Prime sub at CGTF2. 52 months.
It was pretty expensive to be a foreigner, wasn't it?
Still is. I mean, honestly, think about the medical bills going to the hospital in America. Good luck, have fun.
Oh well, yeah. Well, that's why Neeb has to make so much money. So.
Because he's constantly in and out of hospitals. Are we starting a rumor now that Neeb's actually sickly?
Yeah, apparently. Thank you for that resub.
Every time you've heard Roddy say Neeb is such a sick player on cast, now you understand. It's literal. Tank's gonna go down. But that cost Ravagers. That was not a cheap tank kill.
Nah. And this is supposed to be doing, I think, a little bit more, but here's where the extra complication comes in. Bunny... Oh. Whoop. Bunny has to actually clear up so much creep spread once this is done with that seriously is a shot to macro out of this.
Yeah, the time it'll take Bunny to actually expand is kind of nuts. In fact, he's better off just floating over to that gold or something. But this may have also gotten a little too close for comfort. 2 queens remaining, 2 ravagers might be able to take on this a force.
Of course, the bile hit, that was absolutely the case.
Yeah, not with the medevac micro though. He'll be able to clean this up now. Still though, this was a pretty good damage. Because soO did eventually take his own natural. He's got a decent amount of drones, and I don't really see an immediate counterattack coming out of Bunny. I mean, these units are not only injured and need time to repair, they're also not the ideal counterattack units.
You know what's also kind of awkward about this?
Everything?
Well, yeah, everything. So he needs a 3rd command center, first of all. He's going to be banking too many minerals. And the reason is you don't have a lot of gas. You only have 2 gas geysers. That makes a lot of sense. If his plan was to play mech in this game, we saw him play mech in TvT the entire time. The Inviolate Square is a good map for mech. He actually has to change his plans. Like, you don't get gas fast when they do this at all. Even if you, like, take them as soon as possible on both bases, like double expand or something like that. So going for mech's actually really difficult to do. I mean, maybe he does it, but it really hits your tank count and your factory production hard.
Let's also not forget that soO's actually mining from this base. He's taken minerals away from an already low mineral base. This base is already so unappealing to take, it's going to be like, well, you've taken half the money from it. What's the point?
Yeah. Yep. This is, I feel like, you know, once upon a time and Bunny scanned the natural, right? Like, this was just an all-in. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The Zerg taps out. But it's become fairly popular on the Inviolate Square, and it's become popular in the macro sense. Like, they will just creep you up and then expand.
There are no spore crawlers, so Banshees might be a problem. I was actually going to say, I kind of wish we had seen a Raven to clean up the creep, but none of that matters if he can't clean up the Ravagers and the Queens, which he so far cannot. So his best bet is this counterattack, but I don't know that a Banshee on 1 medevac with a Cyclone and 2 Marines, I don't think this would be like a base trade worth the amount of units.
Nah. Although, they will be able to kill the Spore Crawler. Their forces combined, not targeting it, however, never mind. Alright, this is... I really feel like it's actually a bad position for Bunny. I want to say he's had to deal with this attack before. This can't possibly be the first time he was proxy hatched on the Inviolate Square. Maybe it's the better player that he's faced, you know, in a while, but still. Him not going for bio is really going to hurt.
Both the Queens live. This Banshee has killed 0 units so far.
That's a little sad. That's pretty sad. But continuing on, it just adds to my point, you know? Like, Bunny is trying all of these things. He's getting a couple of very important units, and that is something that you just can't push against this very easily. If he had gone for extra barracks and Stim would have been done, and he would have had a number of Marines along with tanks. Now he just has tanks.
That's a THICC wall.
Yeah, that's not being broken anytime soon. Which soO is probably like, oh, okay, that's how defensive you have to be. I mean, he could just not do that and still be in a good position.
I've never seen someone double layer a wall, but it's, in theory, actually kind of neat.
Do you have a Spore Crawler back there?
He does.
Oh my god.
And for whatever reason, there's 3 SCVs outside the base too. While this goes on, he does finally start moving the command center over. I'm not sure where it's going, but this is very important. He just starts muling anything else at this point. Honestly, like, just... he's mining his minerals at home out. He's at 28 SCVs on 8 mineral patches worth of SCVs.
He needs gas. Oh, he just wants to Banshee to Corrosive Piles. Oh, gross. Alright, finally takes up this base, but still doesn't have a way to deal with the creep spread as he never got that Raven, and he really can't afford a Raven. He built 5 Banshees and a medevac and a bunch of tanks. That's like all of his gas from one base.
And you know what? His orbitals are gonna have just muled, so he won't have scans.
Oh my god. I think that Bunny's actually reacting to this very poorly.
I'm with you on this, but at the same time, I can't blame him because you're probably not very practiced against something like this.
Nah. But I don't think it's the first time that he's faced this, but this might just legitimately be a problem for him on the Inviolate Square. Like, he thinks this is the most BS build ever.
A small counterpoint, soO did just throw away almost his entire army there. That's super great.
But okay, so Bunny's actually not at a bad supply, right? He has enough workers because soO made a ton of army, so losing that army is a big deal.
He didn't finish off the tumor. He had 1 health.
No. Kill an SCV, splash damage, something. Oh well. Anyways, he's at an okay supply because soO did expend so much money there. Actually, soO, I don't think was playing a perfect follow-up game either. I think more drones, a 3rd, and a Spire faster all would have been game over right here, right now, because nothing shoots up here for Bunny. He's stuck on mech. He's stuck with banshees and tanks. What is he gonna have? Not even engineering bay.
I think mutas are a great option, but that Spire might get focused down. They could wrap around the outside of it, and I think Banshee's dying for this might be worthwhile. But oh, never mind. They're gonna fight the queens, and that doesn't go too well.
Yeah, there's an overseer. That Banshee's gonna die. Oh, it doesn't focus the low one. Well, it's still one of them's gonna die. No,
either way, it stays away from the Spire, and I don't believe he even scouted it. No, he did not.
What's funny is that I feel like the Spire is a common follow-up to Extreme Cheese, Proxy Hatch, Roach Ravager Rush. Baneling, but like whatever, especially if you see that they're pretty stubborn and going for banshees and tanks. So Bunny is just so tunnel vision that he's not really thinking about it. Even if he was, it's quite the investment to defend against, because he could technically get a Thor now with the armor he's finishing up, and that's immediately what he does. Great, awesome, but it's one Thor. Yeah,
you can actually magic box one Thor early on. The Vikings might even be more beneficial. Back in the day, we had Salvation. God, that's a name. Try and use Vikings as his anti-air against mutas when they were a lot more popular, and it would work in low numbers, but I don't know. The Marines in the middle of the map try and catch these guys. They're going to then be able to pick off the tanks. Nothing's out here to protect this, so that's just free. Bunny, like many of our viewers today, throwing some donations his opponent's way.
These are all those bits.
Yeah, that was 500 bits per tank right there.
That's us spending it on hookers and booze. Which I would never do. This is a dangerous scenario. Missile turrets are not done, so that Thor is the only defense. And even when they are done, you now have Bunny just turtling on his bases, which, hey, he has 4 bases. It's not a bad thing to be. But soO should now be droning like a madman, getting up to better tech. And we have what it looks to be a sort of decent game, but oh boy, how did it start?
I guess spelling my name wrong is a fair trade-off for me saying yours incorrectly. 100 bits saying I am strategy. Online strategy. Sorry, ref kid. Thank you for 100 bits, dude. And Trays, thank you for that Prime sub. Yikes today, man. Feels good to be a gangster.
I'm just gonna say it the other way that you don't say it.
You know, if we do it that way, it's like it just increases the chance that we say it correctly.
Yeah.
There's no downside.
These Banshees finally doing damage, by the way. 9 drones, not too bad, because soO never really did drone up very hard.
Yeah, he didn't get up to like a 60 or a 70 count or anything like that, but he did take 4 bases, which was nice. So he's had some semblance of that option, but he's continuing to make roaches and ravagers. I think he's really scared of attack coming his way. Or maybe he wants to get aggressive himself.
Yeah, I think he wants to attack that gold. He knows about it. The mutas weren't... He could have taken to mutas as well. He could have gone like 20 mutas, but either way, he's going to be able to take out this base. Bunny cannot spread himself that thin. Kill Lizzie base.
This one Thor is such an easy pick off.
What are you doing, soO? That's not your whole army.
Just hoping nobody noticed, I guess.
Is he trying to draw the tanks forward? Like, oh, look at me, I don't have an army.
I like this from Bunny. I think evacuating the base here is better than wasting a lot to defend it. Because he probably could defend it, but at the cost of his whole army. Falls back to the tanks now, and this is a much better fight for him. But the Thors are busy shooting the ground, so they don't shoot up. But that medevac saves that Thor. Keeps it alive a little bit longer. Set on 27 health. The Roach is trying to focus him, and Bunny picks it up again. However, despite this really cool micro, is that enough? A few more tanks, but all the new tanks get jumped on pretty quickly. Corsair Gear's gonna get a double kill.
Not quite. That would have gone so much better if soO had any amount of links with it. That's all I could think of, seeing absolutely no Hellbats or Hellions, but it ends up doing enough.
It does.
Yeah.
GG.
Seriously, tap out. GG.
What a game, number 1.
What a weird game.
I gotta say, I've been in weird situations like that. Not exactly like that, but it's like, I always sit there as a Terran player, like, how do I recover from this? I'm too far behind, I'm stuck on one base, like, how do I push out? Like, I don't have bio, it's mech. Like, I'm actually just flabbergasted. Bunny, he just exploded that game. He went from being stuck on one base for so long to suddenly, boom, 4 bases and a decent army.
I absolutely think that both players did not play that perfectly. can't say badly because one player ended up winning, but soO ended up playing it the worst. Like, he doesn't have to sacrifice that one army around the natural. He can drone a lot more. He can get a third base so much, like an actual third base, so much faster. I know the Banshees were a bit scary, and getting a third base with those on the field is a little hard to do, but his Lair would have been faster, and his Queens would have been out there to defend it. Felt like he was lagging behind on what usually, he's a very fast Zerg player. Very quick to realize what he should follow up with.
I like that soO's rocking the Bob Toss emote, or the portrait, by the way. But
yeah.
All right, Blackpink coming up next. Got Nugs says, BaseTradeTV, do Prime subs auto renew? Unfortunately, they do not, and I don't think there's ever going to be a plan to make them do that. So every 30 days, you just kind of have to get in the habit of checking your Prime sub and see if it's available. If you want to keep subbing to our channel, that would of course be awesome. But my urge is just that you use it. Period. It helps keep streamers afloat. I mean, a couple of subs here and a couple of subs there can go a long way, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But quick shout out to Savager 291 coming in for that 26-month resub. Nice. See you guys in game. All right, back in action for game 2. Looks like I gotta fix that transition scene. It's a little bit off, but spawning here to the top right, he is up 1 game at the moment. We got the blue Terran Bunny.
In the bottom left, as the red Zerg, he is soO.
Okay, so backing things up to the start of that game, though, that was unconventional soO. That was not a soO we're used to watching, and well, I guarantee you he's capable of pulling this off, and that probably nets him victories. We just haven't seen it from him for a while, specifically. Maybe it's like every second ladder game, right? But for us on the cast in these tournaments, it's very different builds the players bring to them, and we just have not seen soO play like that in a while. Yeah. So that was it was like one part kind of cool, but second part just so unconventional. So we'll see. It's looking like he's gone back to more conventional here for game 2.
A little more. I mean, he is going for a pull first, but it is just, the early lane. Something, well, I guess it could be a Roach follow-up, but his gas was late. That's kind of my point. So, probably not a lot. And if we do go back to the beginning of last game, by the way, I was going to bring up that it looked like soO should have lost, with him not being able to break Bunny. But it was just the rest of the game that was, I thought, supposed to be in soO's favor. Maybe he improves upon how he follows up such a game next time he plays on Neon Violet Square.
Well, one thing I really liked from Bunny for that game too, like, information is always key in StarCraft, and oftentimes your Reaper gets distracted. You're dealing with the Link's killing your SCV. Like, you don't get that very important scout to see it's one base. And Bunny hadn't even gotten to the main. He didn't see the Roach Warren. He just saw that there was no natural, and that was enough to throw down 2 bunkers immediately. So credit where it's due. I mean, he did defend that well because he did everything he needed to defend it well. But man, raining in with subs and subs and subs. Waste Laden, which is like a mistypo for Wasteland. I don't know. Thank you very much for joining us with Twitch Prime, and then also joining the Base Trade Brigade. We got Lucidity Dark, and as I'm saying it, we got Love Rocket coming in. Now up to 956 subscribers. I don't even have a goal because I just wanted to be above 900 this week. We fucking killed it day 1. And like now it's just all gravy, baby. So thank you guys for joining us here with that Twitch Prime.
Nicely done. There was an SCV scout which kind of ruined soO's plans. He has 2 lanes waiting, but the commander's already done.
Let him buy the scout. Super annoying.
Yeah. Bunny was a little cheeky as well.
Save the stream. Is it dying? Asks Apple-eyed. No, but if it's dying, then it's too late to save it. Logic.
I don't think hospitals adhere to that logic, Rifkin. I'm actually not with you on this one.
We're not a hospital, though.
I'm just saying. Like,
if anything, we're a hospice because StarCraft 2 is the one that's dying.
you could say that, you know, Apple was dying, but didn't mean that they died. Right?
It's
Right.
true.
Right.
It's one of those like, you're not wrong, but ... But apparently Love Rocket is from Chile. So hey, dude, thank you for that sub.
Chilean Love Rocket. Sounds like a name of a bad romance book.
It sounds like a bad section. Like you got the Cleveland Steamer and then the Chilean Love Rocket, you know?
Oh, that's good. That is a fairly fast Roach Warren. We'll see if he just uses it defensively or what. But whenever I see such a Roach Warren in this level of play before the third is done, I really expect it to be somewhat more aggressive. Like, at least, hey, I have roaches, be scared, right? And he is making more than just 4 or 5.
Yeah, and if not, a couple of Ravagers mixed in, so it's going to be Corrosive Biles too. Like, it's scary how powerful an early game Zergalin can be, but it has to be unchecked to work. I don't think I've really seen too many where the player knew it was coming and said, oh, well, I've chosen not to prepare for this because reasons.
This is not going to quite work out as clever as soO was hoping for, by the way. He sent his roaches to the south, but they passed underneath the Liberator. Which is kind of funny, but I'm not sure Bunny noticed.
Well, this Liberator is going to be killing a lot of eggs. That's going to actually shut down a lot of the reinforcements. But I think he didn't notice. The Hellions are still looking to be really aggressive towards these Lings, and nothing's sitting back at home, and he needs to be behind this wall with every unit he has.
Oh, this is terrible. He didn't go for Banshees. He didn't start Cyclones. soO's gonna win this game. Ah!
You know what's great? soO loses a game he should have won, and now he's gonna win a game that I don't think he should have won. That Liberator should have seen this coming.
Yeah. It absolutely should have. Now, this is taking some time to break down. If Bunny had immediately pulled the SCVs into the main and then body blocked, maybe he buys time for Cyclones. But he's still building Hellions. I don't know what he expects to have happen here.
Oh, the Corsair Bile. Oh, man, all the SCVs almost went right into it. I mean, 3 CCs can bandage a lot of SCVs, right? You can lose a lot of workers, and you just can't lose all the workers. And so far, he's losing all the workers down to 17. Oh, no.
Liberator should not help here.
He was waiting. Oh my god, that was so clever. soO, I was watching the Ravagers. They had their cooldown available for so long. He was waiting for that thing to set up so he could shoot it down immediately. That was so brilliant.
Bunny just letting this soak in, I think. Because he's dead. He dead.
He dead.
Real dead.
He's super dead. GG. soO takes game number 2, tying things up 1-1. So he won't go down without a fight.
Wow. A lot of subs.
Yeah, how to play coming in to join that Twitch Prime hype train today. I gotta go like refresh this and see just how many subs we've gotten today, guys. But we're going to go to quick commercials, 2 minutes. We'll get into game 3 as soon as we get back. So thank you for watching these grand finals. We'll see you soon. Hey guys, we're back, but we're just gonna hop right into the game scene. I know you want to see our pretty faces, but Backwater's already getting underway, and it's map number 3. If you're just tuning in for whatever reason, this is the grand finals. Things are tied up 1-1, and I'm gonna replay that donation. I love the excuse to hear that music anytime, any opportunity. But Apple-eyed donates $5 to say, please don't die. And then Siggy Sev threw 100 bits our way. I'll probably say his name wrong, as I tend to always do, but regardless, thank you guys for your support of the channel. The channel's not really dying. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's get the game going. The right top left side of the map, we got the red Terran player Bunny.
In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, he is soO.
So, to be perfectly clear, because I'm sure somebody out there actually is looking into this more than they should, the whole save the stream thing, it is, like, in a weird, small way true. You're keeping the stream alive. If we didn't have money, we didn't have income, we couldn't afford to do this every day almost that we do on the channel, right? And whether it's with Zombie Grub or Wardy or anybody else, I love being able to do StarCraft, and the freedom to do that comes from you guys. So yes, you are saving this stream, not from death, but from disappearing is probably the better way to phrase that. However, to be perfectly, blatantly transparent about this, as many of you know, we have a policy on the channel. I split tips 50-50 with the people I work with. So we have that up there as just kind of a day-to-day thing, so I can check in at the end of the month when we're doing our tallies, and I can be like, oh, Zombie Grub, oh, okay, we made $100 on this cast, $80 on that cast, right? And we can split it up so everyone gets their fair share. It's just like a nice day-to-day tracker. But yeah, we put all that money to good use, good StarCraft content, good things. So thank you guys very much for that support.
Yes, thank you indeed. We do have soO. I mentioned last game how I didn't add a gas to the pool, so it really should just be the early lings. This time he did before the hatchery, and it is a fast Roach Warren. Bunny did not go for a Reaper or an SUV Scout this game. He went for a Marine that won't even be able to kill this Overlord. Things are not looking good for Bunny.
No, I mentioned it back in game 2 while we are complimenting game 1. The biggest thing for Bunny was scouting, getting the information, and then responding appropriately. The fact that he won't have that information is going to be possibly devastating to him here. Because we saw, he already knows what to do, right? If he sees the roaches, boom, bunker, bunker, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Okay, if this SB is only scouting for the lings, first of all, soO is doing an amazing job of hiding them, and second of all, Bunny is still in a bad position. If it had gone across the map to see how late the hatchery was, then that would just be genius. It's looking for a proxy, actually. Whoa! Oh, this isn't gonna help him.
No, this is more worse for wear than anything else, and the lings might even catch this. soO's looking around for something himself now. I mean, this is typically where you put the starport down to the south, not normally here in the weird middle ramp, but he's rallied past it, so he'll see it, and I don't know if the Ling will get there in time to cancel the SCV building it, because he can do some dodging, weaving, micro through it, but none of that really matters, because what determines how this game will go is these units over here.
Yeah, soO's being one cheesy mofo in this series. The Ling will finally see the starport, but it did take a long time. As he said, doesn't really matter. It's about the Roach Warren, and that starport is just extra special useless. Like, you need to have a Banshee to help against this. Liberator doesn't help enough. Medevac obviously doesn't help enough. You need Cyclone and ideally a Banshee, but at least he's pulling the SCVs away this time and trying to buy time on the top of the wall.
This mother lover. Dudes, if you don't know, by the way, while we watch the attack commence here, there is $100 for the winner of this best of 5 and $50 for the loser in the grand finals. So quite a bit of cash they're fighting over. And for Bunny, this feels like such a rookie mistake.
Cyclone is going to pop out. Oh no, oh no, oh, move. Oh, okay. I thought he was trapped somehow, but he still got so super dangerously low that now when the SCVs repair, he just can't move.
He got way so low.
Yeah, exactly. This, man, I hate Cyclones. You think repairing them's gonna be great, and then that just means they can't micro, and you're like, well, what do I do?
I know, and the thing too is they've got so much surface area, it looks like you should be able to repair them, keep them alive, yet it feels like they've got less repair surface area than a depot sometimes.
Yeah. 16 SCVs. This could have been game over.
I kind of still feel like it is. I mean, that's a lot of worker damage.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, this hit before the third CC was even, thought about. This hit at a perfect time, and while he will lose the army, finally, he took on a lot with it.
So this question gets asked a lot when we're casting Bunny. Is this the Korean Bunny or the Danish Bunny? GG, soO will, there we go, lock down 2-1. Not the tournament yet, though. He's supposed to win one more, but guys, the Danish Bunny, I love him to death. I was the biggest fan of him for the longest time. He has not played StarCraft in almost like a year at this point. So it's like when people are like, is this hero like ex-Liquid hero? I'm like, no, it's probably the active hero who still plays competitively and hasn't retired, but maybe, just maybe it's the other guy. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But okay, so soO now 1 win away from closing this out. Maybe Bunny brings it back in the next map. Been a really weird set of mind games, but a couple things to go off. First off, thank you Captain O'Flash for that Prime sub, and Hilo _ coming back 16 months in a row. Secondly, during the ad break, I didn't fucking play ads because I went to the bathroom and I forgot to do that. So we're gonna quickly squeeze in 2 minutes here. See you guys quickly for game 4. Sorry about this. All right, folks, like I said, I kept it short and sweet so we could get into the game. Spawning here in the top left side, this is one victory away. This map to possibly lock down $100. We've got the red Zerg soO.
In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, he is Bunny.
All right. And I did a quick refresh during the break, guys. We have got 30, this doesn't count resubs, 30 brand new subs today. This is an incredible day for us. 962 strong going through to the finals. I'm not even asking for more. In fact, don't do it. Save it for another day, because this has been fucking awesome. Thank you guys. I'm sorry, I'm swearing again, but thank you guys so much. Today has been really, really good. And I didn't get a lot of sleep. I binge watched an amazing TV show going into this. I've got a bloodshot left eyeball. It hurts, but it's all the worthwhile. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the show. I was also going to mention, though, if you do want to keep that support train rolling, definitely check out the Patreon for the Olimoleague. Replay packs from this are not something you get from being a subscriber to the channel. This is the only tournament we cast where we don't send out the replay packs, and that is because the Olimoleague handles the replay packs, and I believe it's $2 a week or so is what the cost of it is. So if you want access to these, you get more than just the ones. Like when you get a BaseTradeTV replay pack, it's the games we cast. I think Olimoleague sends them all out, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you get like a full bundle of amazing replays, even from the games that we didn't cover. So some days nobody covers like Innovation versus Gumiho, and you're like, damn, I wish I had seen those games. Boom, Olimoleague support.
Yeah, I can. That's exactly true. So far, nothing interesting. soO has been doing a lot of interesting openers with his pool and gas timings. This one is... Oh wait, no, this wasn't pool first. Just kidding. But it's not a Roach one follow-up at least.
And more to the point, the SCV scouts. I mean, someone had brought it up in chat. It's very true. You rarely actually go this deep with an SCV scout in TvZ. A lot of the time you're relying on the Reaper for that scouting information. But I think Bunny, combination being on his last life and combination having taken such terrible, terrible damage last game, he's feeling extra defensive and extra safe. So he scouts with the SCV. He's got a bunker coming down, incredibly unnecessary, but safe rather than sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way that soO has been trending, so it's a good call, but it might be a little unnecessary. It's a very old school bunker too, which I find hilarious. If soO was going to do something, it would be a Ling Flood, as Bunny did not scout a Roach Warren being put down, and it'd be maybe a little late.
The depot that combos with, I was wondering why I was taking it on the rocks. This actually creates a very cheeky wall, because you gotta go all the way through the mineral lines to wrap around this if you want to get a full surround. I don't think he's in danger of that, but still, this is quite interesting.
It's always funny because back in the day when this was the optional bunker, it was either this or the one in front. This was worse against roaches, but better against lings. If you face roaches, you can't surround your bunker with SCVs, so it kind of backfires. But against lings, you see here, soO can't do very much. These are usually drones, so this is a good defense for Bunny.
I really hate when you accidentally load SCVs into a bunker when you just meant to repair it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone takes the time to like press R and left click a bunker. Everyone just panic right clicks.
Yeah. I guess I actually usually right click. I don't usually have a problem with putting SCVs in a bunker.
One thing I have a problem with though, and I will never advocate for, is auto repair. Because it's so great when your depot's burning, but your SCVs are busy repairing each other.
Yeah, I'm like, if the bunker's being attacked, better heal up the one SCV over there.
Oh, my bunker, the critical point of my defense is being attacked, but the command center is missing 10 health?
It does suck.
Alright, well, the Reaper gets dealt with, and frankly, this nothing too crazy. As you said, Bunny ends up getting kind of the better end of the openings here, but I mean, ultimately, soO's still on 3 bases. He is, for the time being, droning, and with double Evo chambers, I imagine we'll see him continue to play more along like the macro sense of things.
I mean, soO can now obviously play a decent macro game. He just hasn't wanted to the past 4 games.
Right? I mean, and it's silly, but that's really been his choice. He's the one who's been dictating the way these games have gone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 1-1 is a very good indicator that it will go into a macro game, but we cannot, you know, push aside a Ling Baneling all in, or hell, even like a Ling all in. You see from a Lake to No Regret, right? I mean, it's It's possible, but it's unlikely. soO is going to add on a Roach Warren. Actually, not a Baneling Nest, so maybe he'll transfer over to Roaches.
Quick note here as Hellions run by. People ask about the Twitch rival VODs all the time. I don't know. We don't actually own that content. That's all on Twitch, guys. So if there's VODs of it, great, but I don't know where they'd be. However, they are available on the Twitch Rivals channel for now because those VODs are kept for like a month or two by default. So if you missed any of the matches, you can check them out over there. But also big shout outs to my Amaranth 336 for that Prime sub. Thank you kindly.
Amaranth, the one kind of hardcore group that I know. They're not even really hardcore. I take that back.
Isn't that the name of a Nightwish song?
Oh, damn.
Hello? Oh, your mic is not working anymore. I see your mouth moving. Unless this is totally on me. Can she not hear me? This is super awkward, guys. I'm just gonna cast. I hear other sounds, so I'm assuming this is a zombie group thing. But maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll figure this out in a sec. Either way, Hellions getting some pretty okay creep cleanup, excuse me, but while they distract the queens, Banshees strike over to the right. Now there's a Spore Crawler up, but it's in a weird spot, so the Banshees should be able to fly to the left of this. Picking up quite a few workers, racking up 8, 9, not bad. I mean, detection's even a problem here. The queen can't shoot back. And these Hellions are continuing up the pressure. They'll be pushed off by the Roaches. It looks like there was a counter attack, by the way. So Legs clearing up a lot of the SCVs here at the third, and Hellbat's trying to help out too. But while this goes on, I'm looking at Zombie Grub look very perplexed. So I'm thinking the problem's not something easily solved. Can you give me just a head nod, Zombie Grub? Can you hear me? Yes or no? Or a thumbs up, thumbs down? I'm thinking she can't hear me at all anymore, folks. I see my microphone going up and down, so hopefully she didn't kick out a cable or something. But I heard like her mic go a little robot-y and then cut out, so I'm assuming it might be a little bit of a hardware issue. Hopefully nothing too cray-cray. Anyways, I'll try and keep an eye on what's going on there. Hopefully we'll hear her chime in at some point. But the Roach attack on the left side out of soO comes barreling down, and Hellions normally aren't that great against Roaches, but when you've got this many Hellions against Roaches, they can maybe get the job done. Add in a couple of Thors, and he should be able to hold on to this third. Bunny had taken some pretty nasty SCV damage earlier, but nothing Mules can't fix. Not for the time being, at least. Thor's also getting some great shots to execute these Roaches. And it looks like, actually taking a quick peek at the income graph, soO really has started to take a lead. We saw, of course, with the, this is about where the Banshees hit, and then, of course, the Roaches, and Lings cleared out the base. So it's a bit back and forth for now, but I think stabilizing on 70 drones almost is better for soO. Anyways, now I'm getting all paranoid that my mic's not working. Hang on, I gotta listen to the stream for a sec. Maybe it's not. Okay, no, it's not. It's just not a me thing. Great, that's good. Okay. Confirming. Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
Yeah, you went like super robot-y and then just nothing. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, all I did was plug into another USB, but I guess that works.
Try turning it off and on again.
Yeah. Well, first I had to realize where it even was plugged into. There's so many wires.
Well, I don't know how much you caught while you were fiddling, but there's quite a few workers traded out on both sides of this. So, once again, we got some Hellions frying up some drones. These don't have blue flame, but they don't need it if there's nothing defending the drone line. Oh, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed quite a lot of the developing game, I guess. So I see Vipers are out, Q2. Yeah, it's kind of like a normal ZVP, except the Bunny CVT. Bunny is earned a really good army supply, and soO doesn't have that big of a supply, but his bank is large.
Yeah, one thing I'm a little concerned about, though, is the fact that there's no blue flame. One of the greatest things Hellions do with blue flame is not necessarily kill workers, which they do, but they actually take Hydras on. They're trading out 100 minerals per Hellion versus these Hydras, which cost gas, and that can really wear and tear into a Zerg player's bank. soO does not have a lot of gas to spare right now, either. More Thor drops hit up the main. Double Thors kill a queen pretty quick. Oh, that sucks. Is he gonna target the spawning pool?
Okay. I'm not quite sure what he would be willing to stop right there, but Adrenal Gland's no longer an option.
I should have played that off when your mic broke. That You know, you had to be subscribed to hear Zombie Grub or something, and just like had a half conversation, like, "Oh, good point, Zombie Grub." Yeah.
That would have required some awfully quick thinking.
I think if this is the start of the cast, I could have pulled that off, but not towards the end of it. Medivacs will barely skirt by keeping these Thors alive. I mean, there's no mutas or anything, so it's not like the most necessary thing in the world, but they're a big, tanky addition to the army that does a lot of damage. In fact, they're in single target mode to target down the Vipers. Blind Cloud doesn't last that long. 5-point-something seconds is what Twitch chat told us earlier, and as we can see, they're already starting to clear out. Tanks do live through this attack.
Roughly 6, yeah. I think that Sue would have been better off backing off and just abducting a couple things into his army, but he is going to try and do some damage. At the 3rd, there's a 4th to cancel. There's a lot of SCVs to kill, but he's also taking drone damage to a couple of Hellions.
Your worker damage, despite the fact that they've both actually been getting these trades, has been fairly minimal, though, on both sides. In fact, 26 to 28 workers killed is surprisingly close for all things considered. Oh, this is awkward. The siege tanks are blocking the orbital command center.
Yeah. This ended up going really well for Bunny. I mean, Sue trapped so much of his army in a position that he could not trade with, and he couldn't reach the SCVs either. All right. The mic broke, and now my voice is breaking. Sue is in a very difficult spot. He did not have a good attack there at all.
Yeah, you need to remember water next time, girl.
Yeah, I guess that's part of it.
All right, tanks are starting to fortify a good spot, knocking down the hatcheries. Not going to secure him a win, but it's the first step on that road to victory. Sue's army in the back end of this does have 2-2, but, I mean, nothing here really contests these tanks.
Nah, need those Vipers. Here they come now, but the tanks are spread this time, so it's not even helpful.
And the Thors are picking off the Vipers, so there's no use for round 2. I think that might be it. We're going to a game 5, boys and girls. Woo! We don't get ace matches too much. I feel like a lot of the Korean stuff we cast does end up being pretty one-sided, but this is awesome. So we'll get to see what these guys are really made out of, and whether Sue stands or falls to the curse of second place, even in something like the Olimoleague.
We'll see.
Also, it's like the 100th time someone's asked why I'm wearing a hat inside. My hair's a fucking mess and I don't want to do it. Easy. I don't know what's been going on. Last couple casts I've been waking up with like hardcore bedhead, like chicken mohawk bedhead.
Like 15 minutes.
But looks like Zombie Grub's chatting. Are you getting kicked out?
No, they just said that they needed 10 minutes because they're trying to produce something, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be done in literally 15 minutes, so
okay.
If you could wait.
Well, hopefully this game doesn't turn into one of those longer ZVTs. If you gotta take off for some reason, though, not a problem.
Nah. See, I'm always gonna be a little bit frustrated whenever anything bad happens when it comes to the setup, because they definitely promised me better and more, and it hasn't happened.
Well, you're making the best of it, and it's better than casting off of a laptop and a cardboard box in a broom closet, so...
If that was possible. I wonder.
The Harry Potter cast. Alright, we're getting to Eastwatch. See you guys soon. All right, folks. This is the last possible game of the last possible match today. Things are tied up 2-2. There's $100 for the winner and $50 for the loser, not to mention points for the monthly finals, but just by being here, they're pretty much getting themselves into those monthly finals. Either way, at the top right side, we got the Red Zerg Sue.
In the bottom left, has the blue Terran, he is Bunny.
I was like just surprised. We got like, is there even anyone left at this point who can sub? Everyone's been rocking and rolling tonight. Venjik, thank you for that 33 months ace match. I know we don't get to use the ace match emote very much anymore. It's been a lot of 2-0s lately, but yeah, we are in the ace match.
Ooh. And soO has cheesed his way out of 3 out of 4 games. So what does he do in the 5th game?
I think he goes for an hour and a half long game that requires broodlords and snipes and makes it awkward for you who said they'd be done in 15 minutes because that's how karma works.
How is that how karma works? What have I done wrong?
I don't think it's that you have to do something wrong to trigger it. It's just good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people. And if you lied, you're probably a bad person. I'm just saying.
Oh, the bad is the lie. Except I said like 15 minutes. I mean, like
you're like in American, like is a valuation of 20 to 30. Just
okay.
You know.
You have not worked with O Gaming, okay? All right. They have when they say, you know, you're gonna be here at 4 p.m. They really mean like it's gonna start at like 5 p.m. That's like the old standard, I think, of what you're told to expect when you work with them.
You know what's interesting is whether it's a business meeting or somebody you're working with like that regard, if they tell you 4 p.m. and it doesn't start till 5, I get really annoyed. Like with the venue setup, I was supposed to meet the person at 3, they showed up at 4 because they were held up. But if they told me 3-ish, I would not be bothered in the slightest. I'd be like, oh, you're running late. Yeah, well, you said 3-ish, it's fine. Like, not a problem.
Actually, I agree. It's like, it's a big difference because I think that when someone is like, be here at 4, it starts at 4. This is going to happen at 4. You get kind of nervous. You're like, what if I'm late? Like, it's such a big deal. Oh my God. And then they're the ones that are actually like, you know, late. Then you're like, oh, okay, then what standard do you really have? But if they say like ish, then clearly there's no professional commitment. There's no like, oh my God, the world ends if this doesn't happen.
I just feel like ish is like the word that it's the one like add-on to the word that could save everybody so much headache.
We could just move to a country that's like some of the Middle Eastern countries. I think they're like very loose spaced appointments. They'll be like, yeah, let's just meet in the afternoon. I'm just like, as an American, I'm like, how does that work? How do things get done?
I thought you were gonna say like some sort of European country that has a lot of fish, so everything's ish. But that went a completely different direction. Why
would that have ever gone that direction?
I don't know.
You silly.
But then I don't know a lot about Europe, so I feel like that checks out.
Okay. That does.
The common denominator is not knowing anything about Europe. Hazel_SCL, thank you for that Prime sub. 14 months going strong. Guys, we're at 965 subscribers at the time of shouting this out. Thank you guys. Reaper gets surrounded, killed. Ugh. Didn't get enough scouting though. Let's check what it saw. Didn't see the third. It did see the layer at the very least, but didn't get to check the gases in the natural. And I think seeing 2 gases over here is a pretty big thing to see.
It would have been helpful. Seeing the third base timings, maybe seeing the Roach Horn later if these Hellions dive deep would also be great scouting to have. For once, it feels like Bunny is actually going to go for Banshees in a normal build, normal macro game. And he seems to just, I mean, the same way that soO has been preferring the cheesy all-ins, whatever, Bunny has definitely preferred the mech.
I like watching mech play. I think it's one of those things where when it looks good, it looks incredibly broken, like how do you beat it? But then when it doesn't look like that every other time, it looks like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, Viking gonna pick off not 1 but 2 Overlord kills at this rate, and that's gonna be pretty nice. The beauty is clearing up the vision more than killing for supply and resources lost, and it does strip away quite a bit, but soO's making up for it with all these creep tumors. A lot of tumors.
You know, I don't see mech that often on this map. For all the like power that it has, I feel like mobile tank pushes take advantage of it so much more, and then late game bio with ghosts and ravens and all that also take advantage of the map a lot more. So I'm not saying that mech's a bad idea, it's just Bunny is really pushing hard to go mech every single time he can.
Ricky 26K says that one add-on suffix is the word you're looking for. Well, you can suff my ex, dude, because that's not the word I was looking for. I said add-on, okay? Is this a Terran suffix to the barracks? I don't think so. That's an add-on. In fact, the tech lab is the ish.
I was like, is it a suffix to a barracks?
I feel we've just found like a really poetic way to cast Terran.
Yeah.
So would that make the barracks the prefix?
Yeah. Yes. What? No.
No, because
yes. Yes.
The SCV would be the prefix, the barracks would be the subject, and the tech lab would be the suffix, and contamination would be the affix.
I'm pretty sure we're done with this conversation.
Yeah, let's move on. This is the most no-point conversation we've had in a while. Hive has come up very quickly for soO, but I really feel in games versus mech, Hive coming out like this isn't the same as Hive coming out like this versus Terran going bio, right? A 7-minute Hive into fast ultras can be devastating, but a 7-minute Hive into Vipers is necessary. So I think this is classified as like a late game move for Zerg 9 times out of 10 just because it's a Hive, but realistically this is a mid-game standard play. Nothing soO's doing really stands out as too cray-cray.
I do think this is a pretty damn fast Hive, even for Zerg players against mech. I mean, you consider it was before Hydrogen was done, before 1-1, before 4th. Like, it's not the most extreme thing you'll see, like, if you thought versus bio.
Unless he's going for, like, a really quick Greater Spire to combo with that Spire, I mean, I still wouldn't classify it as, like, crazy.
He had a Hive before he had 100 supply. That's actually when it started. It was 80 supply. That seems a little extreme, but I do kind of like agree that like what would he even be for with it being so quick? If he didn't also grab the Spire, he's not gonna have a large enough army to take advantage of Vipers, so it has to have been for something like Greater Spire. It's a little bit late.
Well, the Thors get to the main, they confirm that Hive time is being complete. Gets an Overlord, gets a Queen. These things are so dangerous. I actually like killing the Extractor. Gas is going to be so valuable to this Zerg player going up. Anything off Hive tech, but ooh, might have waited a little too long to scoop that up. A bit spooky, but the Hydras don't have muscular augments, so they can't quite chase this down.
So Bunny sees that Hive is already done, but he has not seen the Spire.
Banshee, I guess?
Yes? Yeah, I guess so.
Ooh, another pick off. Thor's really good picking up single target armored units in the sky. Sounds like a pirate. Armored.
He did, yeah. Oh, there's the Greater Spire, but Bunny, I think he might have a good idea this is happening. He saw a Hive, you know, he didn't quite see the Spire. It's always a potential when you see Hive from a Zerg player. He's grabbing a couple of Vikings. He's, I guess, going to have at least the 2 Thors, right? But he's still producing tanks, so does he know? Is he really gonna be hurt?
But so here's the downside, though, right? Okay, you're going for Broodlords, great. You catch a Terran player off guard. There's so many Blue Flame, which is done Hellbats, so they're gonna be well upgraded with 2/2. I don't know how dangerous that will really be against the tank army. That's devastating. Against Hellbats, they're like, okay, this is a minor nuisance as I stutter step forward.
If Bunny was reinforcing with Thors, I actually think this is perfect. Because I think you're absolutely right about the Hellbats. With him having still like a bit of a lack of anti-air, it's a little concerning. But the Broodlords are not done. The Corruptors are taking the fight preemptively.
I like that he transfers the Hellbats into Helling so he can actually chase down those Hydras if necessary. He's going to drag and drop some Blue Flame Hellbats on top of them too. This fight's not going too poorly for Bunny, but it is that problem that there's that follow-up of something else. And having seen so many Corruptors, that was the indication that 2 starports needed to come down.
Yeah, more Thors are on the way, but I really like that Bunny's not quite retreating yet. He saw how there weren't any Broodlords, like the Corruptors came forward to attack him, so he knows he has a bit of time before he really has to worry. But I think it's almost time up, you know? Like, so he's reinforcing. Defender's advantage goes to him, so these Roaches are coming out now. And Bunny might have just... I don't think he should have pushed. I think he just should have stayed around.
Yeah, the stutter step of the tanks on the way out to block the rocks, though. Cut off that army is a cool move. I like that. That saves a good couple of the tanks.
Literally a couple.
Very nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
So Thors in single target blow Broodlords out of the sky. They're really good for that. As long as there's enough Hellions in front of them to wash off the Broodlings, it's not really a problem in these low number engagements. But with so many Vikings being made behind us, he does have a plan B. He says, I know I can't rely purely on Thors, but I think his anti-air is going to be no problem. What soO has is not terrifying to Bunny whatsoever.
Nah, if this was twice so many Broodlords and with the army still intact on the ground, this is such a scary engagement for Bunny. But Bunny, that had a good push, he had good knowledge, he has a good reaction, still trying to get some damage done too, finds an open base, desperately looking for this too, finds out the gold, which is really nice.
Was there ever a best of 9? The Steve, we've had a couple of best of 9s on the channel, Ting Open Finals and what have you, but more importantly, we've had a best of 69. In fact, we had one of the very first best of 69s. Boy, that was a lot of time I'll never get back in my life.
I mean, I'm pretty sure precisely we had the second one. And then the Chinese one had the third, and Third Dragon had the fourth.
Yeah. Man, best of 69 where players play macro every game was the most exhausting thing I've ever done.
Yeah, they were crazy.
Hey,
that was with the Danish Bunny.
That was funny enough. Rifkin, did you watch Jessica Jones with all yours? Cray cray? I am halfway into season 2.
How do you like it?
So? I'm kind of confused. There doesn't seem to be like a bad guy. I don't really like get it so far.
Halfway through?
I know who the person is. If that, like, I don't want to do spoilers for everybody else.
Sure, yeah. And I won't say anything more because I think the idea of the season is kind of a spoiler in itself. But
it's interesting.
Anyway, yeah.
I will say, going back on Final Space, I'm enjoying that 10 times more than I enjoyed Jessica Jones.
Okay, gotcha. You know, Bunny's adding on another barracks. Did he lose his?
Yeah, it was floating in the middle, got clicked off by the corruptors. So, I mean, this looks a little funny, but for you guys who don't know, you can't build factories or build orbitals, more importantly, without a barracks. So if you lose it, you kind of have to remake it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But I was hoping to see him go into more barracks for Ghost. That's why I was like, wait a second. I'm a little let down. That's okay. We have quite the anti-Broodlord army, and soO doesn't have much to help his Broodlord army.
Oh
like,
God,
where are the Vipers?
surround,
where are the
21
Fungals?
Vikings.
Dear Lord.
You know, the funny thing is, though, he actually isn't so well equipped to deal with the Hydras underneath this. So he does wipe out the Broodlords, and that's awesome, but the Hydras are getting work done.
Yeah, the Vikings aren't even taking on the Broodlords as fast as I thought they would, for how many there were. They were like all shooting randomly, a couple of Overseers here and there.
It was such a 6 around 2. He was anticipating parasitic bombs and fungal growths and whatever. Nothing.
Just pure brute force.
Now, it's not difficult. What's great, what soO has, Bunny can counter with mass-producing Hellions. So that's not an issue. He's also got bases and planetaries and more command centers. I mean, it's a little awkward that they can go, that was not a game-ending fight for Bunny when I think it should have been, but his follow-up should still be fine. Should be, not is.
Yes. I think the Bunny is in a fantastic position with how many bases he has, even making like another one. This should go still in his favor, but soO is now solid on 5 bases, going to 6, and is able to remax, even though he doesn't have a bank. Uh-oh, so much for that base I was talking about. soO actually dives deep for this one.
Oh, he stopped repairing too. I'm not sure what was up with that for Bunny, but diving in deep does lock him into a position that he might not be able to escape from. It's not that many tanks, but the ones reinforcing might be able to seal this in. Either way, this is a really good trade, because right now Bunny's army supply is staying half that of soO's.
This ended up being a really good trade. The concave worked out, the lack of tanks showed themselves, these only reinforced at the end. That just flipped the game.
This is kind of funny, though. This this really reminds me of the engagement we just saw with the Broodlords, but in the opposite fashion, right? Like, yeah, Bunny lost a lot, but soO couldn't push in for the kill off of that. Same way Bunny killed a lot, but couldn't push in for the kill into soO. So it's a weird deflection, but given enough time, I think Bunny does recover still. He's got Raven. These starports are missing some add-ons. That's actually a pretty big deal. Yeah. Some suffixes, if you will.
What kind of sucks for Bunny is that while he has plenty of bases, and yes, given time, he will remax, he lost his bank as he transitioned. Like, he was accruing a bank and about to transition into starports.
Bunny didn't get building armor or high-sec auto-tracking, by the way. Now I can understand the high-sec auto-tracking. That's not a must-have, but building armor if you're going to be coming up against a lot of these run buys. I think you need it, frankly.
I certainly think it's worthwhile, but something else that he cannot afford anymore because his bank is all gone. He really needs to put, you know, priority on an army again.
Yeah, so I'm like really concerned that, okay, it's a planetary, but that also explains why this one melted so quickly. He did get away with this base, though. Didn't really get found. I guess he's not expecting him to be expanding so quickly. It doesn't have a vision of it.
Depleted.
Yeah, that's really good for Bunny. There's also really no lings or ling upgrades, like adrenal glands even, so like if there is going to be an attack on one of his bases, it'll be quite committed. And if he had building armor, he should actually probably survive every single one.
It's a beautiful looking main.
It's a lot of factories.
I'll take this over a Playboy model any day. I'm just saying.
I kind of wish that he wasn't going so factory heavy. I'm saying this, and I flipping hate Starport production and Raven usage, but I look at the other great TvZers of our day right now, and they're all transferring over into Viking Raven past 16, 17 minutes, basically, like right now.
More specifically, Ravens on that front, too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's not a bad composition, of course, but there might be a better one in Bunny's future.
Okay, interesting to knock down the rocks. He does lock in the hatchery with those two Hellbats, which is cool. He can now leave them, set them and forget them. Meanwhile, attack to the south. There's no sensor towers, so he doesn't see this coming. He's had really good sensor towerage coverage to the middle and the north side, but this is the second time a big attack has gone down here undetected. I mean, even just a supply depot.
I agree with the supply depot. It's funny, though, because you can't put one down at that other base. It would reveal it.
Yeah.
Super sneaky.
There's no reason for soO to check this, too. He thinks he's controlling the side of the map. That's so cute.
Looks like a bit of Hellion harassment to soO's, like, 7th or whatever that is now. More than Hellion harassment. Gonna kill it.
Well,
look at that.
It's the same guys. Like, he locked them in here, right, when he left. So that's kind of a cool way, like I said, to set it and forget it so you don't have to worry about babysitting it. But he's trying to snipe off the Vipers first. I love this. That way he can afford to go in a little bit more A-movie and not worry about parasitic bombs. So we got some anti-armor missiles hitting those Broodlords. And way too many Vikings. 17!
Yeah. The tanks were starting to fire on the Thors a little bit, but there is just too much Bunny. No. And now he's hitting the soO's production.
The curse!
It's happening again.
This is a guy. soO's like a guy in Groundhog Day for, like, second place specifically, and he's like, not again!
Feels bad, man. soO is going to lose this game despite having a bit of a bank.
His upgrades were so close to getting that +2 for the sky, but all his scrubbers are gone. Maybe a remax on Hydras does it, but I mean, he's already lost so much, and Bunny has no problem keeping his army count up.
Yeah, that surround looks promising against the tanks, but then the Vikings landed, so.
GG. And also, quick note, we managed to pop up 4K viewers at the very end, and we haven't had front page time for like an hour. So that is really cool, guys. But thank you all for joining us for the Olimoleague. That will conclude Bunny getting first place, $100 in his pocket, and soO with second for 50. Not bad. Not great for soO, but not terrible. He's actually just par for the course, frankly.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. We did have some more subs coming at the very end there, by the way. Thank you very much to Church of JT coming with a Prime sub, and all souped up and good to go. Another Prime sub coming in there. We are finishing the day at 967 subscribers. We are actually almost 100 subscribers up from where we were yesterday morning when we came back from our break. So that feels fantastic, guys. Thank you, everybody, for getting in on that. Got a lot of follows today, too, which was cool. And I hope you are following the channel so you don't miss when we go live next. And the next time we are live, I will be back with Wardy tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. We have the European group kicking off for the BTSL. And actually, before we disappear, I can tell you exactly who's playing, because we did group picks the other day, and I forgot to post them, but it'll be on the Wikipedia page. Also, to do a quick shout out, I put it on Twitter, but I'll say it while we've got the viewers here too, buying time to look for the groups, obviously. I've been the first person to be critical when people make mistakes, but I also want to do it when it's right, and whoever's doing Liquipedia this season for BTSL has done a fantastic job. There's been no time issues, but there's been no players getting confused about things. They've been up to date very quickly. So Nameless Warrior, who is out there updating the BTSL Liquipedia, my hat's off to you. If you're enjoying my terrible hair, hat literally off to you. And I thank you for your hard work and dedication. But March 28th, tomorrow, we got Hearthstone, Blight, Namshar, and Sort of. So a lot of Zerg and only PvZ for Hearthstone. So if he's good at that one matchup, the boy's good to go for the group. But you're not casting that with me, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think the 2 players are that make it out of the group? And who's the winner? Who's the second place?
Say him again.
Hearthstone versus Bly and Namshar versus Sort of.
I'm going to go with Hearthstone and Bly.
I want to lean towards Hearthstone and Sort of, but Sort of's in Korea, I believe, right now. So I think I'm going to agree with you and go with Hearthstone and Bly because they'll have server advantage.
Yep.
But all right, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the cast. If you want to follow anything myself and Zombie Grub are doing, we have been doing a little bit of stuff off BaseTradeTV. I've been casting on my own channel and working with Twitch rivals. Zombie Grub's been doing a lot of streaming on her own as well. Where can they find you, Zombie Grub?
Follow me on Twitter at CG Gaming, on Twitch, Zombie Grub, YouTube, Zombie Grub. There's a new build order up on there for you Terran players who are struggling against Protoss. And I do plan on streaming almost every day during the week while I'm in Nation Wars, so just not today. So.
And then when do I see you next? Is it the next Olimoleague?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I gotta confirm, Maynard's supposed to be coming back for the BTSL. But yeah, Wardy's doing the Europe stuff with me as well as the amateur tournament. So again, !NOOB for the noob tournament information, guys. Tomorrow is going to be the Masters League and below. The prize is an hour of coaching. We'll pay for it. So the coach of your choice will pay for an hour for. And second place will be like a co-op commander code or something. So just come out and play. It's free. There's no cost to enter. Just join. And of course, the last big thing I really want to emphasize here is, once more, we are really trying to push people to Discord. If you are not subscribed to the channel, our Discord is public. You're welcome to come join us. discord.gg/BaseTradeTV. But also, for those who are, we have a special subscriber only channel that's only accessible to you subscribers. You can link your Twitch account to your Discord account so that it recognizes that you're a subscriber, and that's where we'll be posting things like replay packs and big updates and what have you. And that's really with Twitch messaging going down what we're pushing for. So hopefully you'll join us for that. Other than that, BTSL May 18th and 19th confirmed, Richmond, British Columbia at the Net 8 Arena. You can Google all this information, but I should have hopefully something better put out in a more like post forum later. The very last thing I will do is I'm going to link a command in chat, guys, from Sneak. They are a personal sponsor of mine. And basically, obviously, go buy it if you're interested in trying it. But more clicks equals more dollars for me. So if you want to help me out, that's always great. But to tell you the truth, it's not bad. I've used a lot of things like Red Bull and G Fuel and shit over the years. This thing performs the job perfectly. So, like I said, today I'm drinking out of water, but here's that cool... I'm drinking water out of the bottle, but here's that cool logo, and like it's got a bunny rabbit, and I don't know. Check it out. If it's for you, awesome. Hopefully you'll consider purchasing some. Blah. I can't even sell that. I'm so tired. But yeah, we're done for the day. So we're going to roll some credits. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the BTSL Europe. And have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.